So in this video, we're going to talk about something that actually always bothered me as an upcoming entrepreneur, and what I'm referring to is mindset. When I first got started as an entrepreneur, in my first year of running an agency, I was constantly reinvesting my profits basically into different coaches, courses, mentorship programs, and I was a big believer that if I make these investments, it's going to get me to where I want to go a lot faster. And it's true, because I made all of these investments, I was able to move along the learning curve a lot faster than if I was out here trying to grow my agency completely alone without any real guidance. And let me tell you, the one thing that always bothered me when I bought a new program, when I invested in a new mentor, was they would always shove mindset down my throat. When I look back at these situations, in my opinion, I always thought that this mindset crap was basically fluff. What I wanted was direct actionables. I wanted information that I could go out, apply, and make money with right away. And I would always skip past the mindset stuff. Again, I thought that the mindset stuff was pretty much just fluff that they were throwing into their programs to make it seem more valuable. I didn't think that I was going to get any real value from the mindset material that was in these different mentors, programs, coaches, all these different investments that I made. The mindset stuff just wasn't appealing to me, and I would typically not even pay any mind to it. And we fast forward 5 years later, I've now done over 3 million inside of all my different agencies, and I'm now a coach. I now help upcoming aspiring agency owners succeed with their agencies, and I help them cut their learning curve. And ultimately, my goal is to make the mentorship program that I wish I had 5 years ago. So when I first set out my mentorship journey, I intentionally put nothing in my program about mindset. Knowing that I didn't like any of the mindset stuff, I intentionally kept all mindset stuff outside of my program. Now, at this point, I've been mentoring aspiring agency owners for about a half year now, and I've helped many upcoming agency owners cross that 10K mark. And to be completely honest, there are students that do really well inside of my program, and that to this date, I have some students that are really struggling. And in retrospect, I wasn't able to really realize it through my own experiences, but through helping other agency owners, I'm seeing how darn important the mindset work really is. And funny enough, a lot of my mentees are actually requesting more mindset stuff from me, because here and there, I actually will do some mindset work with my mentees, but this is typically live. I'm usually doing this on calls. I don't actually have any material in my actual program around mindset. But that's actually the whole reason for this video, because this is the #1 YouTube video request that I'm having from these students inside of my program. So again, in retrospect, I'm seeing how important it really is for me to actually be helping my mentees with mindset work. There are two main kind of mental roadblocks that upcoming aspiring agency owners will experience. #1 is analysis paralysis. In this video, I'm going to talk about what analysis paralysis is, and ultimately how can we have awareness of when we are experiencing this mental roadblock, and then also how can we combat analysis paralysis and how can we break through. The second mental roadblock that I'm going to be talking about in this video is something called shiny object syndrome. And I'm going to break down shiny object syndrome in a lot of depth. And again, we're going to learn how to have awareness of when we're experiencing shiny object syndrome, and ultimately how can we combat shiny object syndrome when it comes up inside of our own entrepreneurial journey. So firstly, what is analysis paralysis? By definition, analysis paralysis is an inability to make a decision by overthinking a certain problem. And to really go into this in more depth, I'm going to give some examples of when is this happening for an upcoming aspiring agency owner. I'll tell you, typically as an aspiring agency owner, the very first time that we're going to experience analysis paralysis is when we're trying to determine our niche. Should I go into real estate? Should I go into med spas? Should I go into dental? There are all these different industries that we can work in inside of our agencies. Ultimately, as someone who wants to succeed with their agency, this is a huge decision, and you want to make sure that you're going into an industry that's proven to work, and that you know pretty much what people are trying to do is they're trying to pick the right niche to guarantee their success. And what will happen is people will take months and months just to determine what niche they want to work, where in reality, over those last few months, they could have just been taking action and growing their agencies, but the analysis paralysis of trying to determine their niche is preventing them from even moving forward in the first place. So my recommendation in this situation is to actually not even worry about what niche. If you are in this situation, you're finding yourself having a hard time determining what niche you want to pursue, your best bet is going to be trying to pick the top 3 that you're interested in. So maybe you say, okay, top 2 that I'm debating between is real estate and med spas. You don't need to get crystal clear on that to start taking action. Ultimately, the more experiences that you have, that's what's going to help you determine what niche you want to work in. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go out, dedicate 1 week to doing outreach to real estate agents, and then dedicate another week to doing outreach to med spas. Even if you don't get any clients in your first couple of weeks of outreach, you're going to start finding which types of business owners you enjoy having conversations with more. And then to take that a step further, I would say go ahead and work with a med spa business and work with a real estate agent. Ultimately, let's see who you're able to get better results for, and ultimately let's see who you have a better experience with. Without having any real experiences, it's going to be very hard for you to determine your niche. So instead of taking months and months and months to try to determine this and not take any action, just jump in, start taking action, and ultimately the best way that you're going to be able to come to a resolution and make a decision is by having these experiences. Now, another situation where I see this with upcoming aspiring agency owners is service delivery. What are we going to do? What service do we want to provide to these business owners? Are you debating between TikTok ads? Are you debating between being an ad agency or maybe a short form content agency? Are you thinking about doing SEO? Are you thinking about doing Google ads? There are so many different services that you can offer to these business owners. And I have the same piece of advice for this situation. Go out, get clients, do Google ads for one client, and maybe do short form content for another client. Ultimately, this experience is what's going to ultimately allow you to make that decision. So don't get caught up in trying to have everything perfect before you get started. Go out, take action, have experiences, and that's what's ultimately going to allow you to make that decision. So step one is just having the awareness around when we are experiencing analysis paralysis. If you don't even know that you're going through analysis paralysis, it's going to be very hard for you to combat this. So step one, hopefully this video is helping, just realize that you're going through it. And now once we have the awareness that we're going through this, how can we combat this? One way, and it sounds corny, but one way to combat this is positive affirmations. Sometimes you have to sit back and reassure yourself, look, whether I go into real estate or whether I go into med spas, both of these business models are proven to work. There are other people succeeding with these business models. It's proven to work. I just need to start taking action. Remind yourself. And oftentimes the real root of analysis paralysis is fear of failure. Sometimes you need to take a step back and just have some confidence in yourself and ultimately be okay with failing. If you can go into it ultimately being okay with failing, then that kind of removes any fear of failure that you could possibly have. And ultimately, every time that you do fail, you need to learn from that, and then next time you'll be able to succeed. Becoming an entrepreneur and growing an agency, especially the first one you ever build, it's such a learning experience. You have to be willing to go in there, make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and you'll get better with experiences. But the main theme here is it comes down to experiences. You have to go out and have these experiences. And what happens is with analysis paralysis, you're avoiding having any of these experiences that it takes for you to get to the next level. And then in my opinion, the best way to combat analysis paralysis is just take action. Instead of getting wrapped up in your mind and getting caught up between these different decisions that you're trying to make, just take one small piece of action. So instead of trying to decide, hey, should I work with a real estate agent or a med spa? Take a breath, take a step back, and instead go do outreach to med spa businesses. Go do outreach to real estate agents. Just taking action is going to be the best way to combat this and get through that analysis paralysis that you are experiencing. Now let's shift gears and let's talk about shiny object syndrome. Firstly, what is shiny object syndrome? By definition, shiny object syndrome is an ongoing state of distraction, thinking that there's something better for you to pursue. Now, shiny object syndrome and analysis paralysis actually go hand in hand. Shiny object syndrome can be very paralyzing. For example, let's say you're trying to determine which CRM you want to use for your agency. Maybe you're debating between Pipedrive or Go High Level. The reality is both Pipedrive and Go High Level work fine, and they both function as a CRM for your agency. But if you're so caught up on Go High Level being a better CRM system than Pipedrive, and maybe you're on Pipedrive, it's a reason to not take action. This is the same thing with your niche. Maybe you have gotten started working with real estate agents and you're actually having success. Maybe you finally hit your first 5K month, but you have this underlying thought that med spa would be such a better experience and it's preventing you from growing your real estate agency. This can even come down to what mentor you choose to help you grow your agency. Is Terrence really the best mentor to help me get my agency to where I want, or would I be better working with X mentor? While the reality is obviously I'm biased, I think I'm the best agency mentor that you're going to be able to find. A lot of different agency mentors will probably be able to help you. If you're constantly wrapped up on the grass being greener on the other side, it's extremely paralyzing in whatever you're currently doing. All of these questions prevent you from moving forward inside of your agency and just taking action. So yes, you do want to make sure that you're leveraging the best tools. You want to make sure you have the best softwares. You want to make sure you have the best mentor. But ultimately, you need to have some belief in yourself if you want to succeed as an agency owner. You have to believe in yourself that you're making the right decisions. And this is kind of a balancing act. Again, you do want to make sure you have the best tools, but at the same time, you want to make sure you just have some belief in yourself to actually go out and succeed with your agency. And quite honestly, you combat shiny object syndrome the same way that you combat analysis paralysis. One way to go about it is positive affirmations. Just reminding yourself of exactly what we just went over. Look, whether I'm using Pipedrive or whether I'm using Go High Level, they both serve as a CRM. They're both going to do what I need them to do. And hey, guess what? Even if Go High Level is a little bit better than Pipedrive, Pipedrive is what I can afford right now, and it's going to get the job done. And I can always upgrade to Go High Level at a later time. You can do the same thing with your niche. I'm in real estate and I'm doing really, really well right now. And even though I think that the med spa niche could potentially be a better option for me, I'm doing well and I need to focus on one thing at a time. It's just about having that awareness and being able to remind yourself of what you are experiencing and being able to redirect that mental thought. And then ultimately action, same thing. You just need to start taking more action every day. Instead of overthinking, choose action. Choose action over overthinking every single day you wake up in the morning. Remind yourself that even if you try and fail, well, that's still better than not trying at all. Have some confidence. If you put in the work, this will work. So I hope as an aspiring agency owner watching this video, I hope this is resonating what I'm saying for you. Again, ultimately, number one is you just need to have awareness that you are experiencing this and you are going through these mental roadblocks. And then number two, take the advice that I give you in this video and combat these. Push through these, take more action. Every day, wake up, choose action. Speaking for myself, if I could go back 5 years ago, I wish I would have put in a lot more emphasis on mindset. Ultimately, I think putting emphasis on mindset will allow you to grow as an entrepreneur and as an agency owner a lot faster. Yes, obviously you need to have actionable information to go out and succeed with your agency, but if you skip past the mindset stuff, you're going to struggle. And I hope this video can be used as a reminder to put more emphasis on mindset, and best of wishes on your entrepreneurial journey. Again, this was a very, very highly requested video. That is all I've got for today. I will see you in the next one.